Hello, hello, hello. I am going to add a few people into this live. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about too much money at the end. I'm sorry, too much month at the end of the money. So bear with me really quick while I invite a few people into our live discussion today. So, hello everyone. My name is Chantel, and I am the CEO and founder of A Class Tax Solutions, where taxes are made simple. My main goal in my business is to assist individuals just like you in maximizing their wealth potential, minimizing their tax liability, and increasing their cash flow. And the way that we do that is through money management and tax planning strategies. So today, what we're going to talk about is our topic for today is too much month at the end of the money. And the reason why I decided to go ahead and do a live on this subject really quick is simply because I meet with a lot of clients who they tell me, they're making pretty decent money. However, their money isn't like they don't have enough money and it's not stretching throughout the course of the month. So one of the things that I talk to them about. So the first thing is, let's start with there's three steps or three things that we have to overcome or accomplish or even understand when we're talking about being on a journey to financial peace. And there are three M's. So that's mindset, it's money, and it's manifestation. So many people believe that, oh, I don't make enough money. My job, the job that I'm working on, I'm only making minimum wage, or I don't make enough money. But the truth of the matter is, there are people that are in the same situation, and it doesn't matter how much money you're making. So we see the same trends in people who are barely making enough money to people who are making six figures. And the biggest issue that we find or that we found is the first issue is mindset. So the first M and the three M's to financial peace is mindset. What are you thinking? Are you when it comes to your money, what are you thinking? Are you always constantly thinking of lack and scarcity? So are you always thinking, oh my God, I got this bill, I got that bill. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Because I would implore you, or I would like to say to you, if that is the mindset that you have, what you feed will grow. So the seeds that you're planting in the ground and then you're watering those seeds, those are the seeds that are going to grow. So if your mindset is always on lack and scarcity opposed to being on abundance, then you are going to consistently find yourself in a financial bind. And it really doesn't matter how much money you make. Mindset, if you're not aware or if your mind isn't set on how can I make this happen, then it doesn't matter if you're making a lot of money. And an example that I like to use all the time is people who win the lottery. Statistics says that people who win the lottery are broke within 3 to 5 years of winning the lottery. And clearly, people who win the lottery, they're winning right now millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. But because they did not have a mindset of abundance, they did not have a mindset of savings, they did not have a mindset of investing, they're going through that money like it was nothing. So when we are used to not having a lot, once we get a lot, it's difficult for us to manage because we haven't been accustomed to dealing with those, haven't been accustomed with dealing with those type of situations. So it's important that your mind is right. So the first place is, when you're on a journey to financial peace, the first place that you have to start with is your mind. Your mind is where everything starts. Your mind is where we are going to have, whether it be positive thoughts or negative thoughts, whether it's thoughts of abundance or thoughts of scarcity, whether it's thoughts of savings or thoughts of spending. It all starts in our mind. So the first thing that we have to overcome is the mental blocks that are keeping us in financial bondage. So the mindset is the very first thing that we have to think about. And I want to take a break really quick and just say hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining this live. Today, our topic, we're talking about the topic for today is too much month at the end of the money. And how can we overcome that? How can we change our situation in order so that we can live in financial peace? And financial peace for everyone is different. So financial peace for one person may simply be paying their bills on time, not having to worry about how they're going to feed their children. Financial peace for someone else may be living in that mansion or driving that fancy, really expensive car. So the first thing is you have to figure out, what are your goals? What do you want? What are you looking for when we're talking about financial peace? So when you're talking about having too much money month at the end of the money, the next thing is, so a lot of people, they're going to start with money. We're going to start with mindset. So we're going to change our mindset. We're going to stop thinking of lack. We're going to stop thinking about what we don't have and start being grateful for that we do have. I like to tell my clients all the time that once we get into this situation and we start thinking about the mindset and we're working on a money management plan, be grateful for what you have. Because one of the things that I can assure you is that when you become responsible for that you have been given, increase comes. So you have to be grateful for where you are right now, not questioning it, not trying to figure it out, but simply in your truth, being grateful for that you have. Changing the way that you think about money. So opposed to trying to figure out or worrying, because worrying doesn't solve any problem. So opposed to worrying about how you're going to do something, make up in your mind, you know what? God, I don't know, where the money is going to come from, but I'm going to trust and believe that it's going to happen. Opposed to one of the words that we don't say anymore is that I'm broke, because you're not broke. You break things. So if you drop a glass, the glass breaks. You're not broke. You may not have the funds necessary right now in order to accomplish some of the things that you need to do, but right now the funds are just not readily available. But we're going to speak into existence. We're going to start in our mind and speak into existence is that it will be available soon, but at this moment, it's just not available right now. The next M that then we need to discuss is money. What are your thoughts on money? As children growing up, we always heard, oh, money don't grow on trees. I beg to differ, because now if you go and you plant your money in the backyard and then you try to water it, the likelihood that it's going to grow is not likely. So I'm not suggesting that you do that. However, if you plant your money in an investment vehicle that's earning, say, compounding interest, that money is going to grow exponentially. So then I would suggest that money does grow on trees. It simply depends on where are you planting your money? Where are you planting your seeds? The next thing is, one of the things that we run into a lot is, I have a client that recently came in and she said, Miss Chantel, I'm making between $6,000 to $9,000 a month. And at the end of right now, I have no idea where my money is going. There is no savings. There is no retirement. There is no nothing. The bills are less than half of the average income. And where's the rest of the money going? So what ends up happening is we are spending money sometimes emotionally. So there was a time, even in my own life, where if I was upset, if I was going through something, the first thing that I would lean to doing was let me go shopping. Even though the money wasn't readily available, but it was maybe on a credit card, maybe I had a check, or maybe it was the money for the light bill that was in the bank account. But because of my emotional state of mind, I made a decision to go ahead and go shopping. And that was emotional spending. What I found out from that is I got in credit card debt because of that. I got in bank debt because of that, because when you start spending money that you really don't have to spend at the bank start adding on those things called overdraft fees. And it amazes me how times when people come in and they have thousands of dollars in overdraft fees. Just imagine if we understood and respected our money more, or even better, and you get, say, $500 worth of overdraft fees. What could you really do with that money over the course of your lifetime? Just imagine every year if you were able to save $500, how much closer are you going to be to your retirement? So the next thing that I would tell my clients is, once we understand that, because now that you have a spending habit. So you have to try to figure out, how do I take control of this money habit that I have, or this spending habit that I have? So for me, I know that if I have a credit card that has an available balance on it, or a debit card, and there was money in the bank, that I was more apt to go to the store and spend that money. But if I actually had the cash in my pocket, I wasn't going to go spend that. Because I know, say if I had $100 bill, as soon as I break that $100 bill, then the money is going to be gone. And in a sense, in my mind, I'm going to be broke. So for me, it's easier for me to hold on to cash than it is for me to hold on to, say, an available credit line, or money on my debit card. So one of the things that you have to figure out when we're going through this money thing is, what is easier for you? I have a client, another one who, when I first started working with her, she had too much month at the end of her money, and she was making pretty decent money. However, she had really bad spending habits. So in the course of our sessions, we found out that if she put the money in her business account was like sacred. That was like, that's her, like her safe haven. So when she put money in her business account, she's not gonna spend that money. But if it's in any of her other 15 accounts that she has, then she's more apt to take those cards and swipe them. So what we found out, so when I found that out, I said, okay, not a problem. What we need to start doing then is making sure that you're taking X amount of dollars and putting it into your business account, because once you do that, you're only going to use that if you have to. Simply, that means that if she was to go to the store and she saw this nice dress that she liked, but however, she didn't have the money to purchase it, but the money was on her business card, she's going to walk away from that dress. She's going to just make a conscious decision. You know what? That's not something that I need. It's something that I want. And since I would have to use my business card in order to get it, I'm going to walk away from it. So how do you talk to me right now? Tell me, what is easier for you? What is it easier for? Is it easier for you if you had the money in your accounts? And, if you had to use your debit card, then you're not going to spend it? Or is it better for you to have cash? Like for me, cash is better for me. Cash is king, because if I have that cash, I'm going to hold on to that for dear life. Like, it's going to literally have to be an emergency in most situations for me to spend if I have the money in cash. So I always try to go to the bank, and have something that I can hold on to, because in my mind, that means, because we all just always want to have this feeling of not being broke. And since that's it's something that a habit that we have to get out of, so that we can truly understand that we are not broke, and we are not broken. Like, we may have a situation where the money isn't always available, but we are not broke. So really quick, Rita says, cash makes me more self-aware of my spending. Exactly. Me too, Rita. Because if I have it in my pocket, then I know exactly how much money you have. So if you have $100 in your pocket, then you're not going to overspend, because you can only go, your limit is $100. However, when you have money in the bank, banks are so slick now to where they give you what they call a cushion. So just in the event that you go to the store and you don't have the $50 in your account, there are some banks and debit cards that will allow you to spend that $50 even though you really don't have it. And for you at the time, you're like, oh yeah, I ain't had the money, but I was able to get this and I really wanted it. However, the bank is like, oh yeah, because guess what? They just charged you a $35 overdraft fee. And depending on some banks, because there is a bank out there that every day that your account is overdrawn, they're charging you $5. $5 a day. Every single day. Imagine how much that can add up to over the course of time. It's literally like taking money and flushing it down the toilet. So it's important that we are aware of our spending habits. And what I would suggest that you do, if you are one of those people and you are spending and you're making money and you just simply don't know where your money is gone, do a log. And I call it every day, every dollar. So basically what that is, every day you're going to have a log that you're going to write down. And you can do that in something as simple as one of these notebooks like this, or a regular spiral notebook. It can be just simply a piece of paper, but it's something that you're going to write down every single day, every day, every dollar. So if you go to the store and you're going to spend $1.15 on a pack of gum, then you're going to put pack of gum $1.15 in the day that you spent that. Every time, if you swiping your card, every time you are spending money for the next 30 days, you are going to write down every day, every dollar. And not only that, you're also going to write down, where are you spending that money at? So is all of your money going to McDonald's? Are you not wanting to get up a little bit earlier in the morning and maybe fix your lunch, so now you have to go buy lunch every day? I figured out a couple weeks ago, I put a post up and I showed my lunch. Y'all, my lunch was a Lunchable, a yogurt, and an applesauce. In total, it probably cost me $1.50, $1.75, let's say $2. However, prior to that, what was happening is I was buying lunch every day. So I figured out that if I purchased lunch every single day that I worked, on average, I was spending $25 a week on lunch. And let's just say that out of the 52 weeks in the year, let's just say I only worked 45 of those weeks. That's $1,125 that I'm able to save on lunch simply by packing my lunch every day. Bringing leftovers, because we tend to we cook too much food, so we have leftovers. You have to figure out a way in order to make this happen for you, because what's happening in our community is we are working, we're starting our businesses, and we're doing everything for right now, and we're barely making it. And then once we get into retirement, the situation doesn't get better. It doesn't get better. It's actually getting worse. So it's important that we understand our money. Where is your money going? What are you spending the bulk of your money on? The next thing, the third M in the 3 M's to financial peace is manifestation. And manifestation, if we understand and we have a clear thought on, this is what I want, this is the direction in which this is direction what I'm going in, this is my goal. What is your goal? So for financial peace, define your goal. What are you trying to accomplish? Are you just trying to make sure that you have enough money throughout the end of the month, because if something was to come up, you want to make sure you can pay for it? Are you wanting to just pay your bills on time every single month? Or just pay your bills every single month? Because the reality is sometimes we're getting into these financial situations where we're not even living paycheck to paycheck. We literally living day to day, because we don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next, because the money is just not there. And I will tell you, in most cases that come across my desk, it's not that the money isn't there. It's that the money is just not being used wisely, or is not being used properly, because no one really ever sat down with us and taught us how to balance our checkbook. No one sat down with us and told us that we needed to have this rule to where we learn how to live off of 75 to 80% of our money, of our income, so that we can start saving, so that we can start investing, so that we can start contributing and gifting, tithing, whatever that may be. We have to learn how to live. No one told us that. So what I'm finding is a lot of times that we are in that instant gratification. And instant gratification means, now, I may not have enough money to pay my light bill, but I'm going to go to the club. I may not have enough money to pay my rent, but I'm going to go buy this bundle hair and spend $200 or $300 to buy the hair, and then another $200 or $300 to get the hair installed, baby, that's rent. So it's important that we figure out within ourselves what is necessary. Stop trying to live up to these commercialized idea of what your life is supposed to be, and be real with your own situation. What is your situation? Because see, my situation doesn't allow me to buy my kids Jordans every time Jordans come out. We buy so many Jordans. Jordan is coming out 2 or 3 times a year. And we are literally we got 3 kids, and that's $600, and now we got to have a pair because society said that there is this certain way that we should live. Well, what I'm going to tell you is stop spending money that you don't have to impress people that you don't like. I'm going to say that again because somebody missed that. Stop spending money that you don't have to impress people that you don't like. Be honest with what your situation is if your situation does not afford you to do those things at this moment, then don't try to stretch it. Because I'm going to assure you something, you can't catch a check. You can't catch a check. You're not going to be able to keep up with those bounce check fees. You're not going to be able to keep up with those over the limit fees. What's going to end up happening if some of us were to be honest and we sat down and actually take a look at our bank statements and our credit card statements, some of us is going to find that the majority of our check is going in bounce check fees. So what can I eliminate? What can I manifest in my life? So right now I'm manifesting abundance in my life. See, we in our manifestation state, so once we get to that point where we're ready for manifestation, we are literally in control. It's when you find out that you are in control, because the situation that's happening in our community now is our money is in control. Money is simply a piece of paper, and it is controlling our lives. No, let's switch that. Money is a piece of paper, and I am in control of that. So in my state of manifestation, I am able to create the results that I want. What that means is in my state of manifestation, I don't have to accept this wage because that's the only thing that either you can afford to pay me or you choose to pay me. In my state of manifestation, I can enlighten myself. I can educate myself, and I can find myself either a job that's going to pay me what I'm worth, or I'm going to be able to start my own business. See, right now, the situation is we want to deal with the money situation as if it's a money problem. Our money situations are not money problems. It's mindset problems, and it's lack of manifestation problems. But most of you don't have money issues. Most of your issues are caused by money, but they're not money issues. If we were to actually do a consultation and sit down and deep dive into the situation, money is not the problem. It's the way you think about money that's the problem. It's the way you treat money that's the problem. It's the way you spend money that's the problem. All of that goes right back to mindset. So what if you are in a situation where you have too much month at the end of your money, then I'm going to implore you to think about some things, to change some things, or change the way that you are thinking about things. To change that mindset or that thought of scarcity into a mindset of abundance. You have to speak it into existence as if it is already happening. You have to speak, you have to manifest what you want to happen. And the way that you manifest it is by saying, I am the lender and not the borrower. And believing that. See, it's one of the issues that we have is we say something with this, but we believe something else with this. It's time for our minds and our mouths to align. So we need to realign the way that we are thinking and speaking so that they are on one accord. You will find out that manifestation will happen. You will have manifestation and abundance in your finances. You'll have manifestation and abundance in your spiritual life. You'll have manifestation and abundance in your physical life. You'll have manifestation and abundance in your mental life, your mental thoughts, your emotional. All of it goes back to your mind. So, not to prolong this live, I thank everyone for joining. If you're going to watch the replay, I say thank you. Please give me some dollar signs or some money signs, because right now we are in a season of and we are repositioning our finances. We are repositioning our lives. We are repositioning our families. We are repositioning our communities. So right now we are in a season of and we are going to reposition ourselves to live an even more abundant life. Again, my name is Chantel Brown, and I am the CEO and founder of A-Class Tax Solutions, where taxes are made simple. I say thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me either live or on the replay. And give me some dollar signs. Let me know that you were here. If you have any questions, you can definitely always reach out to me. If you go to my website, it is www.chantelbrown360.com. It will allow you to either call me, email me, or connect with me on any other social media platforms. Thank you for joining, and you guys have a blessed day.